Hello, my name is Sophie Phillips, and today in my TED Talk, I'm going to be talking about my experiences as a white female in America. This is me as a kid. When I was younger, I didn't really realize that some of the privileges that I was being awarded or some of the discrimination that I was experiencing had to do with being white or being a female. It never really crossed my mind, and I never really thought about it. As I got older, I realized that being a female can make the world very unsafe. From my source, I found that an undergraduate woman has a greater than 1 in 10 chance of experiencing rape or attempted rape. It's a huge issue on every campus, and nothing tried so far has worked very well to reduce sexual assault overall. When I was younger, I wasn't allowed to go to the mall with friends if an adult wasn't present, and my brother was at about the same age that I was. It was about 12 years old, and I never was able to realize why. I didn't realize that my mom was looking out for me. I thought that I just wasn't allowed to go just because it was me and not him. But later on, I did realize that being a woman in public and not being around an adult or being around a big group of people or being around men, I realized that it is overall less safe. About a year or two ago, I got my first job. I was working as a host in a pretty expensive and nice restaurant. I was super excited to begin working because I just thought it would be a great experience to learn what it's like having a job on my own. Towards the first week of starting my job, I realized that being a woman meant that I was facing more severe harassment than any other man who was also working the same job or working in the same restaurant. They didn't deal with older men degrading them or being rude to them or even touching them. A lot of times I would have older men touch me on my back or just anywhere. And I realized also that when I would train a new man to work the host position, or if I would talk to my other coworkers that were also men, they were never experiencing the same thing. As far as being a white person in America, I am awarded with a lot of privilege, and I have also realized that as well. For my source, I found that with a sample of 1,285 white college students, we found that gender, modern racism, social dominance orientation, and subjective socioeconomic status significantly predicted white privilege awareness. About high school, I realized that being white had its privileges. A lot of times I would notice that my other friends who weren't white weren't experiencing the same things as me. They were experiencing racism from white teachers or even other white students, and I was never able to realize that because it wasn't happening to me until it was brought to my attention by one of my close friends who is not white. And that made me realize that I am being treated better because of the way that I look and because of my skin color. And I realized that it also wasn't changing. I assumed that because we were so far in advanced in our status that everybody was being treated the same, and I realized that that was not the case and that other people were experiencing things that I was not experiencing because of the way that we looked.